question specifically asks about what is Human Development Index, and how was it calculated. So it's a pretty direct question on how you have to calculate Human Development Index, right? So what does it actually deals with, right? What does it give to us when we talk about Human Development Index? What does it actually give to us? So it is a kind of an indicator, or an index. It captures, you know or different, say, three dimensions of human development. Human development can have a lot many dimensions, like we talked about inequalities. We know there can be gender disparities and other things. But this specific metric called Human Development Index actually captures, some kind of position of a country in three dimensions. One dimension is health, right? And the other dimension is education, and the third one is standard of living, right? Right. When we talk about Human Development Index, we see something called as life expectancy, right? Which is an indicator of the health dimension. What we see is, in life expectancy, we try to measure how many years, right? Somebody who is born right now, right, is going to live from now on, or somebody who is born, right? And it's of course it should be a live birth. It cannot be a stillborn, right? We have stillborn babies, that is not counted. But live births, whenever we have a live birth, we try to measure how many years is this person going to live, right? Uh, so that is life expectancy. So they have something called as the minimum value and maximum value that is considered. The minimum value is 20 years, and the maximum value is 85 years. We'll see how these are used when we see how it is calculated, right? Then we have something called as education, right? Under education, there are two indicators called as expected years of schooling, right? And mean years of schooling, right? So say how many years of schooling does somebody who is born now will have till maybe he attains the age of 25, and how many years of schooling does somebody who is 25 will attain, right? All through his life, right? So these two can be taken in education, and then we have our normal indicator called the gross per capita income, right? Which we all talk about, which is in purchasing power parity dollars, right? So this which measures three dimensions called health, education, and standard of living, right? So what do this actually measure, right? The life expectancy of course measures, right, assesses a long and healthy life that you can have when you are born itself. It tries to assess how long and how healthy you live, and expected years of schooling try to assess what is the access to knowledge, right? Whatever younger generation we have, right? We try to assess their access to knowledge, right? And then the average years of schooling tries to assess the knowledge, the access to knowledge to older generations. We try to see, the access to knowledge to older generations. And then gross national income, of course, per capita income. We always try to measure the standard of living, right? That's definitely the first and most important that we always try to see whenever we try to see how good a country is performing. At least that's the basic indicator. We all try to see the per capita income per se, right? So how do we calculate the HDI, right? So for every country, there is an actual value of life expectancy that is taken. Right, for India, so say the life expectancy is maybe 60 years or 64 years or 65 years. That is the actual value, and the the organization that is calculating this, takes something called as a minimum value, right? So they subtract that minimum value from the actual value. So if it is 60 years for India, the life expectancy, right, and the minimum value is taken as 20 years, so they subtract this 20 from 60, that comes in the numerator in the dimension index, right? And in denominator, they have the difference of the maximum value and minimum value. Something's going wrong. Right. So, how do you calculate, say, I'm not able to still use this Jamboard.
Ramji,
Yeah,
sorry to
I'm still
interrupt.
not able to use the Jamboard.
Yes, yes. Maybe you're using it, but you cannot see it or something.
Okay,
I
can
just
you see it now?
no. Let us just see what's the problem.
Anyways, I'll continue with this. Right. So there is a specific formula that is used uh, that probably I'll be giving in the model answer when I give it. You can see through that model answer. So there are specific formulas to see to calculate these dimensions, right? And they take the geometric mean of the three values: the value that you derive for health, the value that you derive for education, and the value that you derive for the standard of living, right? So we try they take the geometric mean of these three. Of course, there is still a controversy regarding this that is brought out on, when you're taking a geometric mean, you're actually giving one third weightage to these three dimensions. Right, health dimension takes one third weightage, educational dimension takes one third weightage, and standard of living, the gross per capita income, the per capita income takes one third weightage, right? So there is a controversy that's still there that this one third weightage is actually given arbitrarily. There is no specific logic behind having giving this one third weightage, right? But however, so there is they take the geometric mean of these three dimensions, the values of these three dimensions, and derive the human development index, right? So that is I'll give that formula. You can see through it when you see the model answer for sure. So, and then when we talk about the performance of India in Human Development Index, we'll have to see through the various reports per se, right? Or because every year we see news that India is the value of the rank, HDI rank of India, that was somewhere around in recent years. Maybe it was 131 in 2016, right? And again in 2019 it ended up to 131, right? So we are more or less what we can say is stagnant when it comes to the ranking in the Human Development Index, because we are 131 out of 189 countries. Literally, we are in the last 50 out of 190 countries, right? So we have not really performed that well in the recent years. The question asks you about recent years. In 1990, if you try to take, yeah, we have had some kind of a progress, but in the recent years, we don't see much progress. In fact, some economists say that we have actually gone worse. Right, we should have performed a lot better, but we have gone worse because the ranking improved to 129 in 2018, went down to 131, and in 2020, because of this pandemic, the economists are very skeptic that the Human Development Index is going to be very bad for India, right? So how it progressed and all is more of a data, right? So you can start writing on the actual value of the index, say 0.431. It was somewhere in 1990, and it improved to 0.642 last year, right? Uh, so you can keep giving this data to whenever you ask to see talk about the progress of any specific country, especially India, when it comes to Human Development Index. So this is more of a concept based question. You need to know the concept of Human Development Index and how to calculate it. Right. This question, I believe, has been already asked in the prelims, so the mains exam, some year. I'm not sure which year it is. I think it has been already asked. Right.